Peace, peace. Alright. I'm calling all trolls right now. I'm giving you the opportunity to come with your dumbass questions. We not Moors. Whatever. I'm tired of, see, I'm gonna respond. Cause like I say, I don't play with ignorance. So for those, y'all could be ignorant, drop the ignorant comments and all that. I'm gonna respond. Because my choice is not to be ignorant. My choice is to not play with ignorance. So you make the choice, leave the ignorance. I make the choice to not play with it. I'm not playing. So here we are, live, giving everybody their opportunity, right? For the cowards who gon' intentionally miss it, I might just start going live, calling all trolls. Probably do a series of it. Start inviting the trolls. That way I could start just massacring you live. But anyway, I don't know, man. Been a lot of stupid ass comments, and I respond out of love, but I just did this calling all the trolls, man. Like, where y'all at? Troll me, right? Because I'm going to respond in the comment section. But here, you got the chance to interact with me right now. And I'm going to bust your ass right now. Intellectual. Speaking connotative. I'm not denotatively going to bust your ass, right? But where y'all at? Right? All the Dane Calloway trolls and spawns, right? I hear from everybody but the people who need to get this work. So I'm opening the floor. The floor is open. The floor is open. I'm calling all trolls. So whenever you're ready, just start dropping. Right? But what I am going to do is I'm going to drop basically people seems like they can't understand about the denationalization and the Christian name, or maybe even the history behind it, right? So I'm going to read just a few pages out of Nabil Matar. I don't know if you can see it. Turks, Moors, and Englishmen, right? And I'm going to try to read just a few pages. Hope you get it. All right. The conquest of America had set the pace for the conquest of the rest of the world, just as the English and other Europeans had conquered America in displacing and annihilating its idle and sodomitical population of Indians. They were also to conquer the non-trading and lascivious Moors and Turks. Given that the Moors and the Indians and the other ethnic groups all appeared the same to the enterprise in Britain, they were either consumers or natives to be dominated or removed. There was no obstacle to the duplicating or triplicating the American process elsewhere. The world was ready to be refashioned by Britain. All right, so let me just read these few passages, and then I'm going to go into some of the prophets' work out of the Holy Quran, and I'm going to probably read a little bit out of the Divine Warning as well. So we go on. Defoe realized how British ideology against the American Indians was superimposed on the Muslims, in the same way that the Indians had been removed and their lands repeopled by new nations. Y'all remember that. Repeopled. Alright. North Africa too was to be repeopled and divided into several and separate allotments of the territory upon the coast and in the country adjacent. In advocating this goal, Defoe confirmed the British rather than the Spanish model for dealing with the Indian/Muslim other. Throughout the 15th and 16th century conquest, the Spaniards had tried and succeeded in Christianizing and Hispanicizing the conquered, whether by force or by conviction, whether Moors in reconquered Iberia or Native Americans. The Spaniards sought to integrate rather than to exclude. Britons, on the other hand, did not try to anglicize the colonized. Although there were missionaries who wanted to Christianize the American Indians, the overwhelming attitude of the colonists was simply to ostracize them, even the converted and anglicized ones. For the colonists, particularly in New England, the Indians were not only culturally inferior, but racially too. Their skin color doomed them to evil, otherness. And this is exactly the attitude that developed in England and Scotland toward Muslims in the early modern period. Britons simply did not want to be near the Turks, even if they were converts to Christianity. As Indians, relegated to praying villages in northeastern America, were mocked and ostracized, so were the Muslims. All right. Consistent with Britain's ideology to want land rather than people, the desire to possess more than the proselytize is reflected in the account that was published at the end of the 18th century. In 1797, the first autobiographical account by a Muslim convert to Christianity in English was published. The Muslim was Ishmael Bashar, a Turk, who had settled in England and fallen into such poverty that he dictated the life story so it would be published and sold. Printed for the benefit of Bashar and his family and sold by him, which is the title page. This was the first English text describing a Muslim's experience in England in the Muslim's own voice, or at least as close to his own voice and sentiment as was possible. Bashar had been born in Constantinople in 1735, had been married, had been lustful and brutal in his youth, as the English readers expected Muslims to be, had joined the merchant ship that was captured by Spanish pirates, had been imprisoned and had escaped, and then had hidden in the house of the English consul in Lisbon for 3 years, after which he fled to England. In London, still dressed in his Turkish clothes and turban, he met with much abuse from the common people, carters, porters, and some of whom pulled me by the whiskers, and others threw me down. He was attacked and robbed, after which he left the metropolis and started wandering from village to village, living on the road, sleeping on butchers' shambles, sometimes receiving money from church collections that were made for him, and at other times simply enduring abuse and disgrace. He could not speak English and communicated only with those who spoke French or Italian, one of whom was the Duke of Buccleuch at Dirkeith in Scotland. The Duke preached Christianity to him in French and Latin, whereupon Bashar was convinced of the truth of Christianity and the falsehood of Mohammedanism and asked to be baptized. So basically, he just became a Morisco. In the mind first, right? He declared in the mind. All right. So, but the Duke refused and advised me to exercise patience. Upon leaving the Duke, Bashar met again with thieves who robbed him and abused me as a Turk. To be a Turk in England or Scotland, he discovered, was to be an object of Christian ridicule, persecution, and violence. In Richmond, Yorkshire, Bashar met a woman named Elizabeth Forms, fell in love with her, conversing with her in Spanish, and married her. How a Muslim could marry a Christian without being converted and baptized is not explained, but strangely, Bashar, who was always described the difficulties he encountered, did not seem to have faced any problem marrying a Christian in church. The Edinburgh minister who performed the ceremony tried to dissuade the woman from such a marriage, not for religious or the theological reasons, but for cultural ones. He alerted her to the different treatment women received in Turkey. Again, it is interesting that no theological argument was presented by the minister against the marriage between the Muslim man and the British Christian woman. After the marriage, the couple wandered from place to place, sometimes seeking out a living, at other times relying on the charity and kindness of people, especially the Quakers. Bashar, meanwhile, was pleading to be baptized, but as one minister in Norwich retorted to him, "Do you think I will baptize a Turk who cannot say the Lord's Prayer?" Christianity for the minister was a religion of and for the English. Later, in Lynn, Bashar met with similar refusal. "I applied for Christian baptism, but refused on account of the trouble of preparing me for it." 6 weeks later, he met with another refusal. No Briton would accept a turban-wearing, non-English speaking Turk in the Christian fold. Christianity had linguistic, cultural, and national requirements which Bashar did not meet. Hold on one second, y'all. Sorry about that. Got the little one. Alright, so where'd I stop? In his despair, while in the village of Spalding in Lincolnshire, Bashar went to a church. The congregation gazed at him in surprise, and when he sat down, the sexton approached and he offered to take off my turban, which I refused. Bashar soon realized that he was in the right place, for the minister was the first to agree to baptize him. And in order for him to learn the Lord's Prayer, the Creed, the 10 Commandments, the minister gave him a book containing instructions to the Indians. Christianizing a Muslim was the same as Christianizing an Indian. As the minister looked at the Turk, he could think only of the heathen Indians. So if he looking at Turks and Indians in the same light, what does that say? And then when I first started off, remember, it said, given that Moors and the Indians and other ethnic groups all appeared the same to the enterprising Britain. That means it's all one people, right? I mean, if it's Muslim, we have the Anglicized or the Christian, Mohammedan, Christianity. More and I'm saying Christianity, but we see that it's the creed, and the creed is the Niceno-Constantinopolitan Creed, right? So they're not worshiping Christ, they worshiping Constantine, right? And then also it says Christianity for the minister was a religion of and for the English. So that's going back to my whole statement. Seems that people just can't understand that the surname shows, it's proof through history. They ain't gonna tell you that. Are you aware that this is a surname of the forefathers who come? No. Then you have the same people who look like me telling you, you aboriginal, indigenous to Turtle Island, but you ain't make none of the steps to correcting that, because I already told you. RVB publications, read. It tells you the titles that belong to us pertaining to this land are the Ills, the Bays, the Days, the Als, and the Alis. Not the Smiths, the Washingtons, the Callaways, the Lavernes, the who else? Who else be hitting me up on this foolishness? The Washingtons. It's so many. Like, y'all really don't get it. But the reason why you don't get it is because you looking at a video for knowledge. You get into history and you gonna realize it, because history and law goes together. It's not separated. Right? So for all y'all who think, well, in law, I could be seen as a natural person, if I just No. Because while you not applying it, they not separating the law. While you separating it, they not separating the history. You going through the same law venue, you still dealing with it, but you want to sever the history behind the things and live in the moment. I'm Aboriginal, indigenous to the Turtle Island. We Indians. When I already showed you what Indians is, I'm showing you what Indians is up in here, right? How they look at Indians and Moors as the same. Don't make me bring out David McRitchie and everybody other who I could just blow all you fools out the water. Like, you gonna see my face. I'm never dropping a video where you just gonna be looking at quotes here, quotes there with symphonies and stuff. I even do you the service to turn the book around, let you see. I show you who the author is. You see what I'm saying? And just that alone, I'm gonna read out of the Circle 7 Holy Quran just to back up why I do that. But for all y'all who don't understand it yet, right? It come from sincerity, right? This is sincerity. All that stuff that's pulling on your emotional, like if you don't even understand how energy work, then you have no business even being in this realm. Like you don't have no business doing anything else but coming to full understanding of what's going on. Don't just be in what's going on and then you heard, Lord, I knew it. Aboriginal, indigenous to Turtle Island. Adjectives, yo. It's adjectives. Stop holding on to things that is taking you further away. See what I'm saying? Like, if you, like me, I have blood running through my veins. You have blood running through your veins. A noun is a person, place, or thing. So why is everybody running to Aboriginal, indigenous? That describe who this person, place, or thing is, right? Describing me, it's not saying who I am, right? But you listening to these fools who talking about you're Aboriginal, indigenous, Indian to Turtle Island. I already showed you what Indians is, how they look at Indians, But everybody study. He giving you something to look at and go study for yourself. Nobody ever looked and studied and realized, never seen the comment like, hey, dang, I looked into Indians and all that, and then they said, but I'm steady getting funny, dumbass comments from all the trolls because of their lack of study. And like I say, your choice is to be ignorant. My choice is to not play with ignorance. So I'm not playing when I respond to you. I'm telling the truth. You sound like a sellout. You sound like somebody who's straight up incompetent. You sound like you ain't done enough studying. Like you sound like you need to press delete on what you about to text me, right? Then open a book, right? Like that's what you sound like. You sound like everything you know come from a button that you press and then they gonna tell you about it. You sound like you don't have a book in your presence. Damn, an ebook. I'm not talking about PDFs or none of that. I got them too, but I'm not talking about PDF. I'm talking about cold hard facts. Everybody dealing with facts, right? But why is most of your stuff coming from Wikipedia or online sources, right? When this internet crash, where your cold hard facts? Let's say the internet crashed and you still had to teach the people. Where you gonna pull from? Where would you go to stay current on teaching the people? Please tell me. I ain't trying to. First off, you got the wrong concept. Everybody else might be trying to convert you from lean from over there to over here. I'm not here for that. Like, I'm just a newcomer from what's already been laid out for everybody who's been denying it. So if I come new, see it, study, and I'm like, oh, I consider for myself, or I come to the realization for myself, like, what is the problem? But these the same people who was in school, right? We sat through the same class, same amount of time. But when I get up, pack the bags, and the bell ring, you still asking me, so what was it? What that mean? Bro, we just sat through the same class. How is you not grasping? It's not hard. How are you not grasping? But it seems like the people who don't grasp, right, they get the bigger following. And who are the following? The others who can't grasp. So, blind lead the blind. People wearing turbans and feathers, sell you back into slavery and so forth and so forth, and so on. Nothing under the sun is new, right? History repeats itself. Exactly. See what I'm saying? When the click stop, so just like this, I can say, oh, I just found this out, you guys, blah, blah, blah. And everybody find it out and they look at it, send me the comments. Oh, that was a nice find, brother. Nice find. Where you got it from, right? Oh, I got it from the FBI website. Okay, you got it from the FBI website, but off the rip, how you taking that as more credibility? Like, this hard earned, like, it wasn't even printed in the year that I'm holding it. See what I'm saying? That type of stuff. Dictionaries. I don't want to go into the hard, but I got it all around. Everybody talking about facts. Look at my wall. Hold on a second. And I got this from Brother Kuju. Just start putting it up on the wall. When you walk in my house, just take a safety pin out and just start reading one of them. But I don't know. I don't want to get too far off. So I'm going to go back and finish up this, because for those who come new, I'm basically showing all these people who talking about the name don't have nothing to do with nationalizing and all that, when I told you that the name denotes you or the property, right? The Christian property. Like, everybody, just correct that status. Like, refute that fraud first. I don't understand it either, sister. So let me just finish this up, and then I'm gonna go into the holy Quran, circle 7, just to back up like what we dealing with right now, the time we in. But I'm gonna finish this up. All right. As the minister looked at the Turk, he could think only of the heathen Indians. And as the Indians had been baptized after reading the book, so would the infidel. The fact that Bashar, as a Muslim, was a monotheist while the Indians were pagans did not seem to make any difference to the zealous minister. The baptism of Bashar entailed the same cultural and personal changes that were required in baptism of Indians. Just as Pocahontas had to become English in her apparel, habits, and looks, so did Bashar. And before I go on, right, talking about Pocahontas, whose real name was Mataoka, okay? But look at the movie. Go back and watch Pocahontas, right? Who was the guy who was gonna save her and all that? He was a European, right? As soon as she fell for the Europeans, they had to denationalize her, make her look like, all right, make her look like one of them. Even change the name to Rebecca, right? Her name was Mataoka, and she was a Muslim. So if they talking about they had to convert Pocahontas, they had to convert even the brother Bashar. What does that say? I mean, first off, you couldn't be a Christian if you wanted to. Now I'm saying that's first off. Second off, that if you was that, when you get converted over, we taking everything. Just like nationalization is claiming your nation, naturalization is giving up your nation for somebody else. Like, I don't want this, I'm about to come over there, I'll give it all up. It's like that the Jagged Edge song, right? I'll trade it all. Because these people, they're not happy who they are. So when you like that, you gonna sell out. That's why we got all these sellouts. Sell out your own people. Right? You're not happy. You don't know thyself. Right? So for everybody who don't know thyself, you damn near 50% a turncoat. Like you could be turned easily. So, and that's for other, if you're not grounded in this information. When these people come saying all this, saying all that, if you're not grounded in the information, you're going to stray from it. That's why you got all these dirty Moors who coming out talking all this foolishness. Because they wasn't grounded in it from the beginning. So, soon as that wind blow, oh, I ain't no more. I'm not a Moor no more. I thought I was. I'm not. You niggas is fake. You niggas is cowards. Alright, so says as the Indians had been baptized after reading the book, so would this infidel. The fact that the Bashar as a Muslim was a monotheist while the Indians were pagans did not seem to make any difference to the zealous minister. The baptism of Bashar entailed the same cultural and personal changes that were required in the baptism of Indians. Just as Pocahontas had to become English in her apparel, habits, and looks, so did Bashar. He was told that he could not be baptized with his whiskers. Right? He couldn't be baptized with his whiskers, y'all. Right? So the bishop conducting the baptism turned barber and clipped him. He then removed Bashar's Turkish clothing and brought him new clothes. Now, Ishmael, the bishop said, you look like an Englishman and a Christian. Like, and then it's crazy because, like, look at today, right? Look at the rap industry. Everybody talking about the foreign. I'm wearing my car European, my clothes foreign. Versace, Gucci, all these other people. And the funny thing is, the people are from America. Like, you don't even understand how deep this denationalizing thing went through history. Right? You don't even know that you have your own garb as an American. You have American garb. So why are you wearing Louboutins and Gucci belts and Fendi and all this, right? Shaving, you know, even like your haircuts. I don't have nothing against those who have haircuts, you know, but I'm saying that these things were seen under a certain light by certain people, right? And 9 times out of 10, they came from the Niceno-Constantinopolitan Creed. Alright? So, he said, Ishmael, you look like an Englishman and a Christian. He then gave him the English name James, just as Pocahontas had been given the English name, which was Rebecca. Alright? To become a Christian was to become English in looks, name, clothing, and religious belief, which is dogma. Dogma. Alright? Unfortunately, Bashar's becoming English did not lead either to reliable work or to a home. Dang, what that sound like? All these people who just being good old boys for the Christian crown, and you still getting fucked over. And you denationalized yourself. You let them. Shout out Grind. Islam, brother, Islam. Yeah, man. You know, it's crazy. So, where we at? All right. So we say, unfortunately, Bashar's becoming English did not lead either to reliable work or to a home. With his wife by his side, he continued to wander from city to city. And that's the same thing right now. All these people wandering. They wait for Jesus to come back when Jesus is a degree, is inside of all of us. Just like he said, don't you know what I can do, all can do? He never looked for followers. I'm not looking for followers. It's these fools who is looking for followers. They're going to use strings and symphonies and lure your ass in. But they're not going to tell you to get the fuck off my page and go find out or study what I just gave you. Right? They're not going to tell you that. They're not even going to tell you the truth. They're going to sugarcoat something. And we already got sweet tooth, so all we need is a little sugar and we satisfied. Right? But when you weaning off the sugar, that shit, nah, they don't do nothing to me. Everybody, your pineal is so damn calcified, right? That all you need is a little bit more coating, right? You just need a little, you don't want to uncalcify it, you just want to coat it a little bit more. Just like a donut, right? They got people who like the old-fashioned cake donuts. Y'all want the glazed cake. Like, glaze me up. Calcified. You're not really here to pop this. You're not really here to pop this. So why are you on my thread acting like this is popped? When clearly you could just listen to what you say and I'll be like, oh, I know who I'm dealing with. Retard. So here we go. Converting to Christianity, him and his wife still wandered around the whole city, having and burying children as they went along so frequently that he had to sell his story in order to sustain himself, his wife, and their single surviving child out of 10. Now, what that sound like? All these sellouts who gonna sell a story, right, for the Federal Reserve note. You got 50 Cent, right? It's like after he sold that story, he just started declining. Right? What's that? Bobby Christina, right? Right after they sold her mama story, she... And then she did that because you know who really was about to, reap it all. And that's Bobby. But these are just a few. Exactly. These are just a few examples right now. Things that me and you know about. But I'm reading out of something that this dude wrote this. We wasn't here when he wrote this. So that's going back to when I tell people, don't look at history like, oh, at this time it was nothing but good going on and we was the best. It was still fuckery going on. Like, the time is nothing different because the energies don't die. So I don't give a damn if it was 7/11, 17/11, right? Or 2007, 2017. Exactly. What was then, what was then is now. Shout out to my brother Grind, man. He really out there, man. Well, we done had talks about this. We done had talks about these fools. Alright? So, neither conversion nor Anglicization could affect his integration into the Christian society of England or Scotland. Bashar was an other, defeated, impoverished, and alterized. He was in the same situation as the straggling American Indians who entered New England towns, sometimes to be beaten, sometimes pitied, and always to be viewed as outsiders. Now, why is that? Why is the Bashar story the same as the straggling American Indians? Because they was already getting branded as Indians. Denationalization, refugee, alien, ward. How was they getting branded? Because they took Pocahontas or Mataoka called her Rebecca. Ishmael Bashar, right? Called him James. This is denationalization. They stripped his Turkish garb, right? Come on, man. So this is just out of here. Dealing with denationalization, dealing with the Christian principles, right? Behind your name. The Christian principles. And this is Nabil Matar. I don't know if you can see it. Turks, Moors, and Englishmen. And I could bust your ass with a whole lot more out of here. But this for all the people who talk about last name. What does that mean? Shut up. Because you don't know history. You probably thinking that you going to carry on the family name. When you're really carrying on the torch. Where you get the name from? We all know the slave master gave us the name. So if the slave master gave you the name, and it's 2017, and you haven't refuted the fraud, you haven't possessed or claimed your title, right, that relates you to this land. Everybody want to talk about Aboriginal Indigenous, but you're not using the titles to those who is Aboriginal Indigenous. Shut up. Like, for real. Because I just showed you. Right? So, I'm going to just read a quick thing out of the Divine Warning. Alright? This is the Moorish Divine and National Movement. And in here, I'm going to read out of the Divine Warning real quick. And it says, the citizens of all free national governments, according to the national constitution, are all of one family bearing one free national name. Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classified as undesirables. You think Ishmael, you think they desired him when I just read you? Right? And are subject to all inferior names and abuses and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. Now, wasn't they abusing them, mistreating them? But hold up. The prophet, he wasn't the real prophet. And shut up. Like, y'all killing me. But it's not, it's not denotative. You connotatively killing me. But I ain't gonna stop. I'm gonna just bust your ass. Because I don't play with ignorance. You know, I let if we playing, right, I'm gonna go play with something else. I'm gonna let others play with ignorance. Because I don't play with that shit. Right? And we all know that's the greatest sin. My people perish for a lack of knowledge, right? That's for all the Bible carriers. All my Bible carriers out there. And it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional laws of a free national government and cling to names and principles that delude to slavery. Come on now. Come on now. And I just gave all the trolls and all these people who so smart but really not smart, I just gave you a charge. See, what people don't understand is that when you study more science and you start reading the literature, you actually receiving charges. You being charged. Now, it's on that same individual to take that charge. And as we see, a lot of these mofos gonna run from the charge. They're gonna run and cling on to every name that delude to slavery before they take their true charge. And that's a fact. You can see it in my comments. You can see it in every other person who teaching the truth comments. Look at the comment section and just wait. Look at the trolls. I ain't talking about it no more. I'm coming out of the Holy Instructions of Unity by the Prophet. Alright, coming from the Circle 7, y'all. Alright. And I'm going to just read this and I'm going to read one more chapter that's just, it accentuates what I'm saying, right? So, we're going to start off. Holy Instructions of Unity. The gifts of the understanding are the treasures of Allah, and He appointed to everyone his portion in what measure seemed good unto himself. So just from one, it seems like that everybody have common sense. Everybody was given common sense. It's not no, oh brother, you real light and you real bright, and I wish I could be up on your level. Like you are. All you have to do is use this. And that's what the prophets say. If I could get you to thinking, you'll free yourself. But people don't even want to think. So why are they talking about when Moor's going to have a government and when Moor's going to do something for black people? Moors are free. And these people, literally, through their actions, they don't want to be free. I don't know. Anyway. He had endowed thee with wisdom, had he enlightened thy mind with the knowledge of truth, communicated to the ignorant for their instruction, communicated to the wise for their own improvement. All right. True wisdom is less presuming than folly. The wise man doubted often and changeth his mind. The fool is obstinate and doubted not. He knoweth all things but his own ignorance. All right. The pride of emptiness is an abomination, and to talk much is the foolishness of folly. Nevertheless, it is part of the wisdom to hear with patience their impertinence and to pity their absurdity. Yet be not puffed up in thine own conceit, neither boast of superior understanding. The clearest human knowledge is but blindness and folly. The wise man feeleth his imperfections and is humbled. He laboureth in vain for his own approbation. But the fool peepeth in the shadow stream of his own mind, and is pleased with the pebbles which he seeth at the bottom. He bringeth them up and showeth them as pearls, and with the applause of his brethren delighted himself. Peace, Najib. Peace, Islam. I'm telling you, man, what's going on? So, and I'm gonna read 6 one more time, just in case. Oh, nah, it's all good. Look, I'm gonna read 6 one more time. The wise man feeleth his imperfections and is humbled. He laboureth in vain for his own approbation. But the fool peepeth in the shadow stream of his own mind, and is pleased with the pebbles which he seeth at the bottom. He bringeth them up and showeth them as pearls, and with the applause of his brethren delighted himself. So that's all you fools who think you know what you talking about. You post a video and you ain't studied enough. Then you get a bunch of other unstudied fools who be like, appreciate the exposure to the light. Appreciate the exposure to the light, man. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me, man. All right. He boasted of attainments in things that are of no worth, but where it is a shame to be ignorant, there he had no understanding. All right. Even in the path of wisdom, he toiled after folly, and shame and disappointment are the reward of his labor. And see me, I take notes inside of my books. So right there, I got in all caps, agents like this. And the prophet wrote this 100-something years ago. The man never missed a beat. Right? That's why he say, those who were with me then are with me now. Those who are against me then are against me now. And he wasn't just talking about him. He talking about everybody who's standing up for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Right? Like, you stand up on those principles, you gonna be combated by all of these people. Like, you might as well just get ready for them. And there is another charge. Like I say, when you study more science, you're gonna realize that you're really taking charges. Now, are you gonna take the charge? Because most of these fools realize, oh, he giving me a charge. Oh, I ain't ready for that. I ain't ready for that's what it really is. When people gotta do what they have to do for their own self, 365, no calling for nobody. That seems a little hard to some people, so they're gonna run from that. Believe that. You don't have to believe that, but I'm telling you, believe that. Just like if I'm too young and I got a baby on the way and I feel like I'm too young to take that charge, I'ma run from my responsibility. And then shout out to the people who have babies young and they take their charge. So I salute y'all. I salute everybody taking their charge. You know what I really was thinking? I even, and don't take this the wrong way, but just see where I'm coming from. I respect the quote-unquote policy enforcer. Right? Because, of course, what he doing is not right. Right? But if you fools not going to enforce the law, then who are you to tell me what is the do? You know, what's the right thing to do? Like, he really, if you think about it, is not wrong in his actions because it's us. It's nothing but us. We running from our charge, but then we gonna cry, "Oh Lord, that's what you doing? Why are you doing?" But then it's gonna take that one time where that policy enforcer gonna be like, "Well, this is something you supposed to know," and then you gonna seem dumb and you think about it hard, and then you're gonna come out trying to teach more science, or then you're gonna jump back in your books when you was already told to study. You was already told the truth, but let's go back to the prophet, right? You was already told the truth, but watch this. Even in the path of wisdom, he toileth after folly. So you actually on the path of wisdom, but you rather toil with the folliness. You rather make it difficult. It's simple, but you want to make it difficult. All right. So, but the wise man cultivates his mind with knowledge. The improvement of the arts is his delight, and their utility to the public crowned with honor. Nevertheless, the attainment of virtue he accounted as the highest learning, and the science of happiness is the study of his life. And when you know what that means, that's all Islam is. I, self-law, and master. Man, know thyself. Study, study, study. And when you ask me what else to study, I say study yourself. Sit in all halls of learning. Like, I'm tired of you fools who just want to be a history buff, but not a law buff. Or these fools who want to be a law buff and not a history buff. And most of these law buff fools, they exercising well, but it's English law, Roman law, canon law. They don't have no grounded on common law, natural law, positive law. Nature's law, nature's God. Like, these same people who versed in law, bar association and all that, probably still think the Declaration of Independence was meant for them. See what I'm saying? They don't understand the separation. Like a dude say on the comment, any fool could discern that you talking about law. Well, if they ignorant, which means to not know, how the fuck could they know I'm talking about law? Let alone, how the fuck could they know, right? If they ignorant, that what I'm saying is the truth. But when I know they ignorant, they gonna take my word, right? So exactly, you can't discern nothing. So if I know that, I could just put out anything. I could say right now, Donald Trump just got shot. And then everybody be up in my thing talking about something. Oh, I knew it was coming. He had to do something. He just trying to escape from impeachment. It's going to be a whole bunch of people who don't know nothing. But they just about to start, they about to start channeling already corrupted statements. See what I'm saying? Come on, man. Y'all asleep. Y'all asleep. All right? So I just read out of Unity, and I'm going to close it out with sincerity. All right? Because this is what it is. Are you sincere in your efforts? Because most of these people, especially 9 times out of 10, when they start with the PayPal and then they end with the PayPal, or you go in the description link and they got all these links, PayPal, all this, they ain't sincere. Believe that. when they dropping video after video and you never see their face, but they slander and then they just know this and that and stay away. Think about it. How the fuck could you take credit for something you never seen the man face? Like, I couldn't drop these videos without showing my face. I'm not that type of person. All right? But you got your Dark Man Nexus. You got your Dane Callaways. You got, what's the other guy? Haven Bullets, right? Everybody just want to act like they got a platform, but they really want to hide. They really want to hide. And one more time. All right? One more time. The fool peepeth in the shadow stream of his own mind. So they already like not coming from a light perspective. Just accept that. They're not coming from a light perspective. So we're going to go into the holy instructions from the prophet dealing with sincerity. All right. And this is going to be the end. And still no trolls. Like, but it's all good. Like I say, they're not going to show their face. But why? They're going to be dropping dumbass comments. O thou who are enamored with the beauty of truth, and has fixed thy heart on the simplicity of her charms, hold fast the fidelity unto her, and forsake her not. The constancy of thy virtue shall crown thee with honor. The tongue of the sincere is rooted in heart. Hypocrisy and deceit have no place in his words. He blusheth at falsehood, and is founded, but in speaking the truth he had a steady eye. He supported as a man the dignity of his character. The arts of hypocrisy he scorned to stoop. Right? He is consistent with himself. He is never embarrassed. He had courage enough for truth, but to lie he is afraid. He is far above the meanness of dissimulation. The words of his mouth are thoughts of his heart. Yet, with prudence and caution he opened his lips. He studied what is right and speaketh with discretion. He adviseth with friendship. He reproveth with freedom. And whatsoever he promised shall surely be performed. All right. Now, I got my own notes. So the next ones, I asked this question to y'all. Who does this sound like? All right. So I'm about to start reading. But the question to y'all is, who does this sound like? And wherever you at, what I'm reading, is going to hit in your head somebody you know of. Just the question is, who does this sound like? All right. So we're going to 9. But the heart of the hypocrite is hid in his breast. He maketh his words in the semblance of truth, while the business of his life is only to deceive. He laugheth in sorrow, he weepeth in joy, and the words of his mouth have no interpretation. He worketh in the dark as a mole, and fancieth he is safe, but he blundereth into light, and is betrayed and exposed with dirt on his head. He passeth his days in perpetual constraint. His tongue and his heart are forever at variance. He laboreth for the character of a righteous man, and huggeth himself in the thoughts of his cunning. O fool, the pains which thou takest to hide what thou art are more than would make thee what thou wouldst seem. And the children of wisdom shall mock at thy cunning, when in midst of security thy disguise is stripped off, and the finger of derision shall point thee to scorn. And that all that means is that the truth gonna come to the light. The children of wisdom, representing all the studious Moors worldwide, who gonna point at the folly, put you on the record for the record, and let the record show that you full of shit, that you a liar. And it's not gonna stop. People keep talking about something. What is this disunity amongst the people? It's not me. I'm correcting it. Why y'all not sending this on the fool who is starting it, who is brewing it? All right? Oh yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'm gonna wrap it up anyway. So, um, yeah. So the children of wisdom, we gonna be here. You know, we gonna be here putting you fools out there to dry, letting the people see what's what. I don't debate. I'm not debating. This is not a channel to get some exactly Islam to Sister Trini Gray. Hope I said that right. And you're not being dishonest in your comment because I have the same. Like, and it's sad to say, and I'm not bashing Christianity either, because it's Christianity and then it's Constantinopolitan Creed, which is the dogma, which is what everybody using under the guise of Christianity. All right. So I have the same problem. You know, I have the same problem with some of my family members, you know, or other people who, unfortunately, you know, claiming to be Christian, right? When I just read to you that even the Christians didn't want you. They didn't even want to convert you. But if they had to, which they did, right, they just stripped you. So back to you can't be a Christian if you wanted to. See what I'm saying? Exactly. Way too much pride. Not enough fact. You don't even have pride for the right things. You have pride in the wrong things because you don't know thyself. Right? You don't even know the goods and the bads of who you are. The goods and the bads that the planet gives off, right? Because every sign is ruled by a planet, right? So you don't even know the characteristics that your planet give off to you as who you are. So how you gonna be who you are 365 in this world? You gonna get your ass whooped if you don't know thyself. Right? But hey, when we start talking this, oh Lord, y'all think y'all high and mighty and all that. No, man. If anything, Moors is the only people, and I'm not talking about Moors is like when you say Moors that everybody included. No, I'm talking about studious Moors. Dirty Moors are the ones that everybody have this stigma. So when you say, oh, well, Moors is this, you operating off a stigma of what you seen, heard, whatever. You don't know nothing about Moors. You operating off a stigma. Your view or your stance is diluted. You know what I'm saying? It's already diluted because you seen one of these fools who slandering all the real work that's being put, you know, going down behind the scenes. Right? So you don't know nothing. But like I say, coming into this, like, I've been in church after church. I've never heard the pastor say, y'all go research what I said. Y'all go study this up for yourself when y'all get on. Never. It wasn't until I started watching certain videos, right? Well, the Moors, they saying, don't believe me, research it. I've never heard that. Especially in the era where people just want to get you. They're going to inundate you. Just listen and listen. And that's the fact. Nobody ever hit you with nothing but facts and was like, don't believe me, go research it yourself. Then they tell you that when you do, go look at this. And then when you go look at that, you're going to see, oh, man, let me go check this out. That's what study is. I never seen nobody on none of these channels. I'm about to put a little clip of what I want to talk about. Put the strings and symphonies behind it. And I got y'all. But I don't condone that. Like, you know, but anyway, that's another story. Because I'm not here to shear my people. I'm not here to send them into the slaughterhouse. But I'm being taken as, oh, I'm causing disunity. Right. You're not even conscious enough to see that This is unity, right? That's disunity. You're not even conscious enough to look up Aboriginal and Indigenous and see that they adjectives too. You think niggas just talking about don't say black? Like that's a description, a modifier. It ain't no who you are. What you mean? I'm Aboriginal Indigenous to Turtle Island, Dane Calloway. And then you know what else killed me? You got a video say 98% of African Americans are in fact indigenous Indians in the old millions. Then why you don't collect the millions and stop fucking asking for PayPal? Like, if 98% of African Americans are in fact indigenous Indians and the old millions, why are you asking people for PayPal and just get your millions? Because you from Turtle Island, right? Come on, man. But hey, the prophet told me something, right? If I could get you to thinking and I free myself, I can't speak for the rest of y'all. But you on the same dude page who's selling the man word talking about, I'm just here to make you think. Come on, man. That's the prophet words. These is dirty Moors. Shout out to all the unconscious Moors who swear that it's a conversion over to a group of Moors. You a Moor whether you like it or not, claim it or not, know it or not. I don't give a damn if you think you from the Cherokee tribe. I already showed you who they was. The Gullah Geechee, I seen that in one of my comments. Like, man, y'all sleep. Y'all sleep. Like, don't let it get to like the Book of Eli when shit just all fucked up and then you realize we was Moors. But now you ain't got shit. And the Moors living high and mighty. Exactly. Like, Indian. This not India. Tyre said it. Everybody said it. When you think, you realize it. Right? So, but it's like this. In the beginning, say Allah gave everybody, right, common sense. He portioned it enough for everybody to get something. You can have some, you can have some, you can have some, you can have some, you can have some. Y'all gonna need it out here, right? Because it's gonna be some things that's not common being pushed. Right? But hey, I mean, it is what it is. To each his own. Like I say, I'ma still preach this. I mean, I don't preach. Take that back. I'ma still teach this for my people, you know, for those who have ears to hear and the eyes to see. And I'm not even asking to use two eyes. You need just one eye when you come into this. You need one eye. We in a position because we've been using these. You forgot about this one. Even now I say, in the land of the blind, the man with one eye is the king. Right? We in the land of the blind. We in the land of the blind. Just how Obama could tell you who you are, but you don't realize it. And then say, Obama ain't do shit for us. Hillary, she do the conference from the Ben Franklin room in front of your flag. Not the commerce. Your flag. You still don't get it. Moors tell your ass to go read Treaty of Peace and Friendship and the Sultan letter from George Washington to Muhammad ibn Abdullah, and you still don't realize. After that, I can't do nothing. All I could do is like just keep doing what I'm doing for my benefit or my gain here and share it to others who want to benefit or gain here, because this is the knowledge. This is the wealth. They say health is wealth, right? Health is wealth as well. But knowledge is the true wealth. You richer than anybody. But hey, when you living in the world and you think rich mean if you got a bunch of blue strip hundreds, right? But you don't have the knowledge to know that those are IOUs. those really not those are really unconstitutional. Those are really not money. Then hey, see what I'm saying? So, man, look, Islam, yeah, super played, man, super played. They out of there, but it's not on us, man. We have a job to uplift fallen humanity, and we can't lift up everybody. So while we doing our reps, you got to realize some of these people, you know, they just gonna fall. They're gonna fall by the way, you know. But that's not on us. That's on them. Just like I say, if we playing, right? Islam, sister, I appreciate you. So if we playing, I'm gonna go over here play with some information, some knowledge, something beneficial. And I'm gonna let y'all play in the ignorance. I'm gonna let y'all play in the folly. I'm gonna let y'all play in the sandbox of shit. Alright? Well, I'm gonna go over there, I'm gonna go grab some of these tissue paper, and cause I know I came up in some shit, right? Then you do the history. Dang, we in some shit. So look over there. Here's tissue. I'm about to go clean myself. And I'm gonna leave you fools to go stay and throw the shit at yourself. Because that's really what is going on. And with that being said, y'all, till next time, peace.